Hey there, Rick Sage, recording at the Rimrock Studios in Bishop, California. Welcome to Season 2 of the Outdoor Biz Podcast, where I speak with retailers, brand managers, athletes, executives, and others in the outdoor biz and share their stories, tips, advice, productivity tricks, and ideas you can use to take your career or business to the next level. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. I've used Audible for many years now. I'm on the road a lot, and Audible allows me to enjoy the great books I discover or are recommended by friends. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/theoutdoorbizpodcast. There are over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Start your 30-day free trial with Audible today. Hey, fun conversation with Danica Carey from Seirus on the show today. Danica grew up with a passion for the outdoors, playing sports, skiing, and she tells us how she and her sister basically started at Seirus when they were toddlers. Enjoy. Welcome to the show, Danica. How are you?
Great, Rick. Great to be here.
Yeah, good to chat with you. So I think you told us you're on your commute this morning. Is that a long commute or short commute? What's that like?
I am. It's pretty much, I've got it down to right about a solid hour.
Okay.
I could push it to 51 minutes about, but I just factor a coffee in there and take my time.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And San Diego's not a bad place to have a commute. It's usually generally pretty nice, pretty drives.
Yeah, it's not too terrible. I ditch the traffic part of the freeway and stare at the coast for as long as I can, and then head straight inland for about 30 minutes.
Nice. There you go. Cool. Mm-hmm. And so where does your passion for the outdoors come from?
My parents really got us into the outdoors pretty early on. Growing up in Southern California, we were total water babies at the beach all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I was about 2, they had taken us up to the mountains and put us on skis right away. So
oh, wow.
That was pretty cool. And yeah, I just took the skis so quickly. I loved it.
Yeah.
Put me on the mountains, dropped me off at the top, and all I wanted to do was go straight all the way down to the bottom.
Point you down and send it. Nice.
Yeah. I think I started turning when I was about 15.
Nice. Do you still ski today?
I do. Yeah. I love it.
Good. Yeah. Where do you ski? Like all over the place, or you get to Mammoth, Colorado?
Yeah, I get up to Mammoth quite a bit. That's where we started. We started in Mammoth until we were about teenagers, and then they tried to take us around a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after college, I went out and moved out to Colorado and got to ski bum it up there for a little while.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Very cool. And you went to college, I think you were telling me earlier, in Nebraska?
Yeah, I played soccer out there.
Oh, cool. And what was your first outdoor job?
Do soccer camps count?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's outdoor. That's,
then, Yeah, that would be it for me. We grew up fully immersed in traditional sports, actually.
Mm-hmm.
My sister and I were always playing about 3 sports at a time, and soccer was my main. I was obsessed with it pretty early on, and so when I was old enough to help out on the coaching or counselor side of soccer camps, that's what I would do. So a lot of time in the sun.
Yeah, very fun. Yeah, and there was were they sleepover camps, or there weekly kids would come to camp and then go home and come to camp? And
they were usually camps that I could just commute to from my house.
Right.
I think some of them the kids did sleep over, but I wasn't on the sleepover side of it. And
Gotcha.
Then in college, same thing. They would just commute to our fields and
Gotcha.
just coach them there.
Cool. And how'd you land at Seirus? I guess as your parents started it, you must have been immersed in that from a young age.
Yeah, I guess you could technically say that I started in the warehouse thanks to Bob Murphy. He is our current VP of production, and at the time, he was my parents' first hire out of San Diego State, 25-year-old kid showing up at our house to work out of the garage. And, I mean, my sister and I were too young to know anything, but there's just this guy in the garage, and he's got a ton of boxes, and he'll make a fort.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so he really had no choice but to put us to work, because it could not have been easy trying to do all of the shipping and fulfillment himself, and then with 2 toddlers.
Yeah, with you guys running around making a mess, playing in the boxes, building forts, I'm sure.
Exactly. So we started out in the warehouse with him, and when they moved to actual offices, my sister and a couple of our friends every summer would go out and assemble fanny flats
Oh.
I don't know if you remember what those are.
Yeah.
So there were fanny packs, and then there were also like fanny flasks.
Right. We'll have to find a link
water.
to one of those, put it in the show notes, just so in case folks don't remember what those are. I don't know, those of us that skied back in the 80s all had one.
Yeah, totally. We don't make them anymore, but yeah, those were great.
Yeah, cool, yeah. And so how did you work your way into the role as marketing manager?
So I went to college in Nebraska. My major was marketing. And so after I came back, after living in Colorado a few years, I was kind of hungry to put those skills to use and try to help whatever aspect of the business that I could.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time in 2005, I think our website was like a scrolling roll of just PDFs of whatever our ads were that year. Right. It was just like just 3 flashing PDFs.
Right,
and
right.
So I basically begged them to, I'll be in charge of it. I'll figure it out. I'll do whatever. But just please let me do something
right.
that at least our reps can click to what they need to do.
Yeah. Cool.
And so they, it took me a year or 2 to talk them into that while just doing whatever other odd jobs they needed done. And then, our creative director and I were able to get the website off the ground, and that just kind of rolled into other things. They let me take charge of the servicing project and then our B2B project. Just kind of kept escalating from there.
Good for you. And so what's a typical day look like now? I mean, you're probably not involved in website day-to-day anymore, but I'm sure you have a busy day.
Yeah, no, I am actually still involved in website day-to-day.
Oh, okay.
There's 2 of us in our quote-unquote marketing department.
Uh-huh.
And then we work quite closely we share an office with the 3 guys in charge of all of the graphic design. And so, the typical day, I guess I could break it down more into seasons.
Okay.
Because that's kind of what I like about marketing is that you really don't have a typical day.
Right.
Routine just bores me to death. But there's definitely a lot of coffee involved.
Yeah, we all do that.
Yeah. Coffee on my way in, knock out some emails, another round of coffee, check on the project. But yeah, in the off season, we do a lot of analytics and review and planning and, recapping what happened last year with each of our projects and how can we make it better. And there's a lot of just sort of constant vetting of what happened and what can we do better and how can we be more efficient. So that's kind of what's going on right now. The planning aspect of it is, it really helps set us up for success. But I definitely prefer the in-season stuff where it's a lot more, action, implementation, problem solving. And problem solving is really the aspect of the job that gets me excited.
Yeah. It's a little bit investigative work and then figure out how you're going to sort it out. That's cool. And so the analytics must be helping. I mean, the analytics have evolved significantly. It's amazing how much information you can get. You guys must dive pretty deep into that, huh?
Yeah, and we do a lot to create sort of our own look at analytics, too, because we'll look at everything from how we operate interdepartmentally to, this is the actual analytics that are coming in off the site or off the B2B site, and really just try to use whatever tools and information we can to dissect and sort of reevaluate and move pieces around. My dad has a science brain, so he wants data. He wants data, numbers.
Yeah, cool. And so are you guys only B2B or do you also do direct, D2C, direct to consumer?
We do a little direct to consumer.
Mm-hmm.
We've only been doing direct to consumer for about the last 3 years.
Okay.
Just because we wanted to hold off as long as we can. We're more interested in supporting our retail relationship. We want to make sure that we're able to support whatever they want to do and keep brick and mortar business.
Right, that's good.
But it's undeniable that if we didn't have a consumer-facing platform, then you're really missing the boat to just even be like an information resource for everyone. Just help get our name out there and drive to stores in that way as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have to have some D2C component even if you don't directly sell to them. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you like most about your job? Just the variety?
Definitely the problem solving is big to me, but for me, it's in our company and in the industry in general, the people, there's just such a great, like, team mentality. It's a very, like, work hard, play hard industry. Everyone's really kind of fighting for that ideal quality of life that, you know, a lot of the world would see as, you know, big money success. But I think our industry does a really good job of finding the balance in what makes quality of life.
Right.
You know, being in the outdoor industry, it's undeniable that we obviously see a huge value in being outdoors.
Yeah.
And blessed are those that can make their success actually being on the mountain all day. But, you know, most of us in the industry get successful by being in an office all day to support the mountain.
Right, that's right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
we have to make the toys so those folks can go play. So nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But then, you know, we see the value and we know we got to get out there too. And how do we do that? Where's that time, money balance?
Right. That's awesome. And what's it like working with your dad? Now, your dad was an NFL official, right? He retired a few years ago.
He was, yeah. He was an official my entire life.
Long time, yeah. I remember seeing him on there all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he moved to the NFL in, I might be butchering this, but I'm going to say 90s, maybe.
Yeah.
And so he was in the NFL for the majority of my life. And, yeah, it was great. You know, he really excelled at it. I guess I might be a little biased, but...
No, he's one of the best. I mean, he's really good. I'm a huge NFL nut. You know, I was never big enough to play football. I played through high school. I had dreams of playing, but got injured knees and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I'm an NFL nut. But, yeah, I see him there all the time. They even have him back now. He's one of the guys that they, you know, well, Mike, what do you think about that call?
Yeah, he was broadcasting for CBS for a couple of years after he retired. But now he doesn't have any parts of football anymore, and gets focused solely on business and travel. And,
cool.
Yeah, and actually, one of his really good friends, Ed Hockley, just retired this year too. So.
Wow. I think I came down there to speak with Ed a few years ago. Yeah, interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think you guys had some kind of a sales role that you were contemplating or something, and I was in between jobs, or I don't know, I was down here in San Diego doing something, so went and talked to him. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So what are a couple places on your outdoor bucket list, or I guess maybe your ski bucket list? Where would you like to ski that you haven't skied?
Oh man, that's so tough. I haven't actually. I haven't done a lot of skiing on the East Coast, so I'd really like to get out to Vermont and a couple spots up there. Jay Peak is somewhere that got on my radar like 10 years ago, and it's, you know, so I think there's a lot of like unexplored places on the East Coast that I haven't been. I have, like, was lucky enough to get out to Jackson a few years ago, and it's been hard to go anywhere but there. Right now. But you know, I mean, I've got serious wanderlust. I would go anywhere. I want to go hang out in Montana. I'd love to get international places. I've got a friend stationed in Japan next year. So,
oh man, you got to go there. I skied in Japan one time with the owner of Vail. It's amazing.
Did you?
Yeah, pretty cool.
Man. Yeah, that would be amazing.
And they know how to do the après ski right too, boy. You get off the slopes and you hand your skis over to somebody, and they escort you into a, you know, kind of a little shower room. You get all cleaned up, and then you go into this huge grotto hot tub thing, and it was amazing. Yeah,
wow.
The skiing and the eating and stuff was phenomenal. So if you get a chance, go.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get some notes from you on where to go then.
Yeah, sure. I'll have to look that up, because it was kind of we were on our way from the east coast of Japan over to the Sea of Japan to look at a warehouse, and we stopped right in the middle, and you have to go through these mountains and spent the night and skied, and then kept on going. It's very cool. I'll have to look it up. I don't remember where it was.
Cool.
But I'll send it to you when I find it. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And so tell us about any nonprofit work that you guys do. I'm sure you work with a few groups.
We do. We've built some long-term relationships with a few, and then, you know, we try to support as many auction donations as we can as well. But we've got long-term relationships going with company called Ski Duck, which is out here on the West Coast. And then we also support Big Sky in Montana, SOS Outreach, who initiated in Colorado, but now, they're quite nationwide. City Wild out of Denver, and the Vail Veterans Program out of Vail, which is just an amazing program that we've been able to be quite hands-on with for a few years. Yeah.
Do you support the Wounded Warrior guys at Mammoth?
We have not done anything with the Wounded Warrior team at Mammoth, no. Okay. But I believe it's a pretty similar concept, which being involved with the Vail Veterans Program is just amazing to see how much. I mean, we all know you get outside, you get in nature, and there's just something so centering and balancing and stress relieving. Yeah. Just for being there, and especially in the more wild places. And then you compound something on top of it, like snowboarding or skiing, and just to see the fire that lights up under our heroes that have done so much for our country already.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's really cool, and you really kind of see people get their zest for something.
Yeah, their eyes light up, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, kind of gives you chills. Yeah.
Totally. It's very humbling.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, some of those guys they've been through it. Holy cow. Shout out to you guys, man. Thank you very much for all you do.
Whatever part we can.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So you ski a lot. What other outdoor activities do you do?
Just about everything. So I still play a lot of soccer. I actually tore my hamstring the other day playing soccer. So that put me out of commission for a little bit. But no, I love it all. Hiking, biking. I've been slacking on surfing a little bit. I've gotten much more into mountain activities than beach. I actually have a friend who's teaching me how to play hockey.
So, fun.
I actually just officially gave up outdoor soccer 3 years ago. So now all of a sudden I have all this time, and I'm like, whoa, weekends, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hiking, biking, camping, anything I can get my hands on, really.
Cool, that's awesome. Hockey, that's an interesting sport. I've never done. I can't skate, so I got first. I don't have to learn how to skate, but it's
that's the trick of it.
Yeah, that's an action-packed sport, though. I mean, that's a lot like soccer too. I would think, right?
Yeah, exactly. Soccer was just getting, especially with my hamstring right now, it's just getting a little bit too injury risk. I think I still try to play at a level that I can't play at anymore.
Right. I can relate to that.
So I have another friend that transitioned from soccer to hockey, and she's been trying to convince me to do it for a while. So trying it out, we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I'm okay on skates, not great, but all the runs are the same. So
yeah, you'll be fine.
We'll see.
That's cool. Yeah. And do you have any suggestions or advice for anybody out there who might want to get into the outdoor biz, or they're already in and they want to grow their career?
Yeah, I mean, I would say just to follow what your passion is, because like we talked about earlier, blessed are those who can actually find good enough success to support yourself by being actually outside the whole time or actively doing the thing you love. Athletes in this industry, that's amazing if they can make it to the point of they can actually just be doing the sport that they love. But I think for the majority, you have to find what your passion is, and then find something that either supports it, contributes to it. There's so many things that you can do around something that might not be the exact same thing. We can't all be professional athletes. We can't all be the best biker, the best snowboarder, but we can all contribute to making it accessible and available to everyone.
Right.
And I think that passion for the thing will help you do whatever you need to be a part of supporting it.
Yeah, no, that's great. You're right. There's a lot of there's a lot of ancillary things you can do for whatever it is that you love, right? You may, a lot of us that are older, we've got banged up knees or torn hamstrings. We may not be able to play anymore, but we can still go out there and produce the gear or support the groups, get on the field and, chalk the field. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do that are related. So that's great. I love that.
Yeah, and I think that, your passion isn't always your talent. I think people always have multiple talents and multiple passions.
Yeah.
And so, you like programmers in this industry have a great opportunity right now to be able to work remotely, so you can work and live in the mountains. And there's plenty of systems and brands and vendors and retailers that could use programming support.
Right.
So if you have a talent in something that's not necessarily outdoor, there's plenty of places in the outdoor that use your talent.
Yeah, no, that's good advice. Yep, that's awesome. Very good. Thank you very much for that. That's great.
Yeah.
And do you have any daily routines you use to keep your sanity? Yeah, you meditate, walk the dog. You get a lot of exercise through all the activities you do.
Yeah. Like I said, routine just bores me so much. So I can't say that there's anything that I do daily, but one of my favorite things that we actually do in our department is there's 5 of us in one office, and we're not very good at doing it every day, but our creative director and I implemented this at some point that at 3 o'clock we do floor time, which is that's how we take our afternoon break.
Mm-hmm.
Is just everyone lays on the floor on their back. Sometimes definitely sleeping happens, or other times, or there's a bouncy ball that someone will throw around.
Cool.
It's just a quick moment in the day to just disconnect from the computer, give your eyes a rest, give your neck a rest, and so that's and we try not to make it you must lay down and meditate. Everyone can do what they want, but that's one of my favorite things that we do.
That's cool. And you get on the floor and call it floor time. That's great.
Yeah, floor time. Just lay down. That's all.
Love it. That's
There's
awesome.
No rules. Just whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. And how about, are you a big reader? Do you have any favorite books, or do you give books as gifts very often?
I used to be a big reader. I think I read just about everything Dean Koontz wrote.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't scare me too much. But no, I haven't been reading a lot. The book I give as a gift is a book called Health is Your Birthright by Ellen Tart Jensen. It's not necessarily like a cover to cover read. It's a really good tool and resource for what vitamins and minerals are in our natural food. So
cool.
Kind of giving a good guide. She's got a ton of just like natural poultices, or if you have a cough, use honey and it's a lot of like holistic remedy look up type book.
Yeah, cool.
Great.
We'll link to that in the show notes. That sounds interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, good one. And do you have a favorite piece of outdoor gear under $100?
Oh, okay, that's a tough one. And I tried to because there's so much great gear out there, and obviously I have to do a shameless plug for some of our favorite stuff, but I do have ones outside of our company as well. Our all-weather gloves and our extreme all-weather gloves, I think, are some of the most underrated products out there, and even in our own line. They're so great. They cross over between all shoulder seasons, and you can still wear them into the winter. There's so many activities. So those range from like 30 to, I think the most expensive is 75.
Okay. Good.
And so the extreme all-weather are completely waterproof. And then the all-weather series, the material's waterproof, but the seams aren't sealed.
Gotcha.
So yeah, those are just great because you can wear them in almost any situation.
Oh, great.
Camping, near water, anything.
Yeah, cool. We'll link to those in the show notes. Yeah, awesome.
Cool. So those would be it for under 100 at ours, I think. Okay. And then Rumpel. This is kind of a cheat because their cheapest one is 100.
Yeah, that's okay. I have one of those. Yeah.
Right? They're so great.
They're awesome, aren't they?
They're so great. A
They're
puffy
awesome.
blanket for the outdoors.
Yep.
And then I have a Carhartt bomber jacket that actually, so what I love about Carhartt jackets is they're one of the few female jackets that have that pocket on the inside of the jacket. I don't know why almost every men's jacket has this. I don't know why more people don't put this in a women's jacket, but it just makes it really convenient and handy. And, I'll wear it when we go fishing in Alaska or just around the town or hiking or for a night, covering up at night camping. And it's super versatile.
Oh, cool. We'll link to those in the show notes. Those are good. Yeah, the Rumpel blankets are just, you just throw them in the car. You're sitting around in the evening. It's getting cool down at the beach. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, good ones. As we go to wrap up here, is there anything else you'd like to say to our audience or ask of our audience?
I think I'd just say that adventure might be closer than you think. Adventures can happen anywhere. I really like to explore, where can you get to locally? Even if you live in a metropolitan area, I bet there's a wild place closer to you than you think. I would just say to explore the unexplored. It doesn't have to be a trip or a long flight. There's really cool ways to get out into nature a lot closer than I think a lot of people realize.
Yeah. No, that's very true. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. That's awesome. And you never know when it'll turn into an adventure, right?
Exactly. Maybe accidentally.
Yeah.
Make sure you take supplies.
It's not an adventure until something goes wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, know before you go. Ask an expert, but definitely explore.
No, cool.
Take a lot of water.
Yep, that's awesome. I love that. That's great. And if people want to follow up with you, where can they find you?
I am actually terrible at social media, but I do have an Instagram.
Okay.
And I'm in the process of getting a van, so I've been told I have to get a lot better at Instagram if I'm going to
That's right, yeah.
start working on van life.
Yeah. And LinkedIn, we can put a LinkedIn connection.
Yeah, LinkedIn. Yeah, okay. I'm on LinkedIn.
Cool. All right, we'll put that. Great. Well, thanks for the time. It's been great catching up with you. Glad to learn.
Yeah, thanks so much, Rick.
Yeah, good to learn about Seirus a little more and hear about all the cool stuff you're doing. Next time I'm down in San Diego, that way I'll pop in and say hi.
Definitely. Please stop by. Next time I'm in Bishop, we'll have to go grab a coffee at Black Sheep.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually in Costa Mesa now, though, but I still go to Bishop.
Oh, are you?
Yeah,
okay.
I got a new gig working for a company that makes underwater camera housing. It's called Aquatech, and so I moved down here a couple months ago. Yeah, it's great. I'm a big photographer, and we make the best underwater, for shooting surf and sailing and fly fishing. And
I've seen some of your photography. It's incredible.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. But so I'm a SoCal native again, so that's going to be fun.
Nice.
Yeah, and we'll connect at OR definitely. So yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
Well, I appreciate the time. Enjoy the rest of your commute.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Danica Carey. You can catch up with Danica on LinkedIn. You'll find links to everything we discussed in the show notes at theoutdoorbizpodcast.com/episode 109. Be sure to hit your favorite podcast app and subscribe today. Thanks for listening. Today's episode is brought to you in part by the Something About Nothing podcast. Think the Seinfeld show meets your favorite morning show. It's a few regular folks from outside Seattle, Washington talking around the table about sports, the news of the day, and the absurdity of life. Something About Nothing is an entertaining variety show that covers all the stuff you want to talk about but aren't supposed to. Available wherever you listen to podcasts, including Spotify. Check it out today. Just search SOMETHIN about NOTHIN. You won't believe how fun listening to a show about nothing can be. If you want more of the Outdoor Biz podcast, you can subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcast. Be sure and go to theoutdoorbizpodcast.com where you'll find all the episodes, show notes, and much, much more. Thanks for listening, and until next time, be sure to make time to get outside.